the trade deadline week. That's right, the countdown is on. We are just a mere few days away from the NBA trade deadline. Welcome into the latest Lakers report. I'm your host, Jake Rietma. Glad to have you along. And let's talk a little three-point shooting, shall we? Yeah, the Lakers, we know this is an area they could improve upon. Now, the field goal percentage from the long line, not terrible, 14th in the league. But how about the fact that nobody takes fewer three-pointers than the Los Angeles Lakers? So maybe that's an area of need that could be addressed in the coming days. As we mentioned, that trade deadline right around the corner. Set your alarm, set all the clocks on your phones and tablets and everything else. Make sure you're ready for our wall-to-wall coverage of the NBA trade deadline. We're going to be live on Thursday, so if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, set up your notifications, and be ready for Thursday, because if the Lakers make a move, we've got you covered, and that goes for the whole National Basketball Association. We'll have our live trade deadline show on Thursday, and if you're ready for the NBA trade deadline, prove it. Like today's video, because all likes mean you and everybody else a part of Laker Nation are ready for the trade deadline, ready for the potential fireworks, ready for the Lakers to make some big-time moves, and ready for the purple and gold to improve the roster. So like today's video down below. Doesn't cost you anything, takes 2 seconds, and I'll know who the real ones are when we come time for the NBA trade deadline. Now, let's take a look at a potential target that is particularly intriguing to me because of what we just talked about. The fact that the Los Angeles Lakers team takes the fewest three-pointers in the entire National Basketball Association. Danilo Gallinari, that's a name we've all heard because he's been in the league what seems like forever. This is a guy that was a first-round pick all the way back in 2008. Obviously spent the bulk of his career with the New York Knicks. He has bounced around quite a bit. He was on the move earlier this year when the Washington Wizards traded him to Detroit. And we all know how things are going in the Motor City. Not great as it relates to the National Basketball Association. The Pistons have struggled immensely all season long, so perhaps they're still in the trading move. Now, played 31 games this season, averaging about 15 minutes, and is coming off that knee surgery from a year ago, but still can light it up from the long line, and that's what's so intriguing about Danilo Gallinari to me. And even though he is towards the end of his career, and many may even make the case at the very, very back nine of his career, I still think he has the ability to put the ball in the hole from the three-point line, which is exactly what this Lakers team needs. So I want you to be honest with me. It's just one name that we're tossing around here. Let me know down in the comments. Do you want the Lakers to trade for Danilo Gallinari, making a trade with the Detroit Pistons, and what that might look like? Let me know down in the comments. It's real simple. Type Y for yes or N for no. And one of the reasons Gallinari is somewhat intriguing to me is the fact that I don't think it would cost the Lakers a whole lot to make this move. And other than the $6.8 million that Gallinari makes, it's still a relatively easy transaction to make in terms of what the Lakers might have to give up. So try this one on for size. How about dealing Max Christie and Cam Reddish to Detroit in exchange for Danilo Gallinari? Again, the Lakers would eat some salary on this. I think together Reddish and Christie make about 3.8 combined, so there would be a little bit of a salary hit there for the Lakers, but you'd get a veteran presence that can, again, light it up from deep, which is what this team needs. So let me know down in the comments what you think of this trade. It's real simple. Give me a grade. Bring out your red pen. Type A, B, C, D, or F based on what you think of that trade proposal. Now, coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about some potential targets, but don't forget about this when you're filling out your grade sheet for that previous trade proposal, that Gallinari makes about $6.8 million a year, and it would be one more component to this trade, but nothing the Lakers front office couldn't handle. So, as we continue with today's Lakers report, we're going to talk more trade potential and potential trade targets. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to today's presenting sponsor. Couldn't do the Lakers report without them. That is PrizePicks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. All you have to do is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS because that's where we have up to a $100 deposit match waiting for you. Wait, what did you say, Remo? That's right, a $100 deposit match at prizepicks.com/CLNS. By now, you know how to play, but I'll tell you anyways. You simply pick more or less on a player's projected stat line, and that's when the fun begins. Add a little sizzle to the game when you're watching Lakers basketball. Like tonight, where the Lakers go for their third straight win. Here's what I'm working with on my prize picks. Austin Reaves, he's been on a tear, so I'm picking more on his projected point total of 16.5. Anthony Davis, 26.5, no problem. Give me the more, and I think the Lakers collectively will D-up Miles Bridges, so I'm picking less on his projected point total of 24.5. Now, I did a power play with this prize pick, which means you have to hit all three correctly, but it's going to pay out 5 times my money. So there you go. That's why the prize pick is worth it, or the power play, rather, is worth it. You can also do the flex play where you got to get 2 out of 3 correct, but obviously not going to pay out as well. Either way, join me, fade me, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and have some fun for yourself. Now, let's talk some other Lakers trade ideas because there are some other big names that have been linked to the Los Angeles Lakers and some interest being shown in some potential deals that would move the needle for you. Let me tell you, this from Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype talking about the Lakers' interest in Dorian Finney-Smith in order to add a veteran defensive stopper to the lineup, which obviously with Jared Vanderbilt's injury and perhaps that even being longer of a timetable to return, would be of note for the Los Angeles Lakers. You look at Dorian Finney-Smith resume, really an incredible story, undrafted, and for him to establish himself as a productive veteran in this league, it's a compliment to him and kudos to him, and has played 7 seasons for the Mavericks before he was traded to the Nets a year ago, but could be on the move. What I love about Dorian Finney-Smith and what he could bring to the table is that long, athletic 3-and-D player that this Lakers team has been missing. And again, in Jared Vanderbilt's absence and potential long-term absence this season, this could be a huge boost and a much-needed value add for the Los Angeles Lakers. A little bit more from Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype. Finney-Smith has drawn significant interest on the trade market, including several playoff-caliber teams, such as the Lakers and Mavericks. So perhaps interest in going back to Dallas, where he spent the first 7 years of his career. But more on the Los Angeles Lakers side of things, Scotto goes on to say with Jared Vanderbilt potentially out for the season, per ESPN, Finney-Smith is a versatile defensive forward who can make up for his loss while spacing the floor. So again, intriguing component to discuss here is the fact that Jared Vanderbilt might be gone for an extended period of time, and this might be a great replacement. So let me know, do you think the Lakers should trade for Dorian Finney-Smith? It's real simple in the comments. If you're all in on this deal, go ahead and type T for trade. And if you think it should be one that the Lakers don't pursue, type P for pass. So if you're in, type T for trade. Not in, type P for pass. Either way, let me know down in the comments. Now, how about an old familiar friend, an old name, Andre Drummond? Yes, he spent some time with the Lakers in his career, and the first go-round didn't exactly go so well. But you look at what Andre Drummond's doing now, and he's putting up some big numbers. And again, from Hoops Hype, Michael Scotto, using that as a possible destination for Andre Drummond, the veteran big man, one Bulls player who could be dealt. Over center Andre Drummond, who's drawn trade interest from the Celtics, Mavericks, Lakers, and Suns, league sources told Hoops Hype. So you look at the production, again, Andre Drummond, his damage, or the damage that he does, is on the glass. He's a guy that's averaging better than 8 rebounds per game in 50 games played. And he does shoot it well from the floor, but he doesn't shoot it often. Obviously, again, his calling card, defense, rebounding, and just a force at the front of the lineup from the center position. And when you look at some of the other teams in the Western Conference, obviously the Nuggets come to mind. You're going to want big bodies like that up front to stop some of the NBA's best, and the Joker just is one that comes to mind, but obviously there are several, and Andre Drummond fits that mold as a guy that could do that. Also worth noting, 12th season in the league, so maybe getting a little bit long in the tooth, but I still think there's some gas left in the tank. And how about averaging career highs in rebounds in 36 minutes, or 18.9 rebounds per 36 minutes? Really impressive stuff there from Andre Drummond in his 12th season. So again, experience, also still some gas left in the tank, an appealing option for the Lakers at the trade deadline. So we've discussed three, in my opinion, really good options, and I want you to let me know who you want to join the Los Angeles Lakers. Who do you want to be the person the Los Angeles Lakers trade for? Do you want to go all in on any of these guys? Let me know down in the comments. If it's Danilo Gallinari, type DG. Dorian Finney-Smith, type DFS. Andre Drummond, type AD. And when I put my GM hat on and Lakers front office hat on, there's a lot of different thoughts to be had. I think the Lakers have several big needs, shooting, defense, or a big man, and maybe you could make the case they kind of have a need for all three. But what's the most pressing? And for me, I think it's shooting, because you look at the way games are won in the National Basketball Association, and I know the cheesy cliche, defense wins championships. We've all heard it, but let's be honest. You got to be able to shoot the basketball to keep yourself in games and to eventually put opponents away. And I think the Lakers could use some help in that category. So I love the idea of trading for a knockdown shooter to help space the floor, to help LeBron and AD out in that sense, and to give the Lakers the ability to put teams away and to score the basketball with range. And I just think that's the way today's NBA has moved, and that's the way the Lakers need to find a way to bolster their roster in that sense to help them be able to put together a postseason run. Now, let me know if you are in fact ready for the NBA trade deadline by liking today's video. Let me know also you're a real one by liking today's video. We appreciate your support of the Lakers Report. As always, it's an enjoyable time discussing the latest Lakers news and rumors on the Lakers Report. And if you haven't yet subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Because let me tell you, we continue to grow with daily Lakers content, as well as a live NBA trade deadline show coming up on Thursday. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You've got your notifications and alerts set so that we can have a ball on the trade deadline live show on Thursday. We'll be live for roughly around 3 hours leading up to the conclusion of the NBA trade deadline, so don't miss out. Also want to thank everyone for tuning in, and how about a huge shout out for Cullen Brown on the ones and twos producing today's Lakers Report. Sincerely thank him for his time and dedication to the Lakers Report. And as always, thanks so much for tuning in, and hey, we'll see you next time on the Lakers Report.